Good evening.
Welcome to the podcast.
That's right. How's everybody doing this week?
I'm good. What's up, Al?
Sexy as ever.
I know that's for sure.
For
What's
sure.
up, Scott? You doing all right?
Big hot tizzle for shizzle dizzle. Always live in effect.
Nice.
I hear you.
Go ahead.
Same.
Ty, before
Yes,
we
sir.
get started today, I know that there was a couple things that we wanted to review from last week, and then I do believe that you have something to share with everybody that we got on a message on Facebook today. So without further ado, I'll let you take it away, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. So a gentleman named Vincent Speranza died yesterday, 2 August. He was a paratrooper. He was 98 years old. He was in the Battle of the Bulge during World War II. Company H, 501st Parachute Infantry Regiment. This gentleman passed away. I was actually stationed at Fort Campbell for 10 years, so I had heard many stories of this guy and his exploits of bringing beer to injured soldiers and being yelled at by the division surgeon because he had people in there. So I'd heard stories about this guy for a while. But one of our listeners actually messaged me today. Unbeknownst to him, I kind of had already heard about this guy, and for years I've been hearing about him. So rest in peace, sir, airborne. And thank you to the family and his estate for always being present with the World War II reenactments and for always reading the Esprit de Corps. He loves singing certain songs, so I know there's a lot of tributes for him. But rest in peace, Vincent Speranza, paratrooper, 98 years old, Battle of the Bulge. Thank you, sir. I also got one more thing, too. So last week, I wanted to give a shout out to our guest, Berto Fight. He's one of my buddies, and I got so enthralled in the conversation that I actually forgot to show this picture. This is a picture of him holding Tatum when Tatum was probably 3 or 4 months old. So there's Berto with no beard. Tatum wanted to say hello to his mom too, since we're out here in Midland. He wanted to say hi to his mom because his mom's going to be watching.
Hi, Mom.
That's all you got, Tatum?
Hello from Midland, Texas.
There you go.
Definitely get your looks from your mom for sure.
All right. Sorry, we're stuck out here in Midland. We're at a cook-off for a friend of mine named Aaron Leslie. His grandson has a disease called AGS7, so they're doing a big charity cook-off for it. So lots of people from the Champion Barbecue Alliance and the barbecue world are here. So, but I digress. Sorry about that. Go ahead there, Matt.
Oh, no, all good, man. All good. So today, everybody, we get to talk to somebody that's pretty special here in the Houston area where all of us are, or most of us are from over here. They do a lot of first responder and veteran initiatives for people around the country, not just in this area. Our guest is a native of Texas. He's a resident of Spring, Texas. He's a United States Marine, joined in 2004, trained as a radio communications guy. He did 2 deployments, Iraq in 2007, Afghanistan in 2010. He graduated from U of H in 2012, and he worked in oil and gas for a long time, doing technical training and development. And unfortunately, in oil and gas, he was those guys that got laid off a lot. So he chose to go get his master's degree from Texas A&M University in 2017, which kind of helped springboard him into starting the Project Zero Alliance in 2020. So he had worked with a lot of other nonprofits and helped them build and figured out and decided that he wanted to do one on his own. And so he's got the Project Zero Alliance. They're just weren't satisfied with the hands being tied of other organizations that don't allow you to give full help to veterans and first responders. And so from there, they're just trying to meet needs as they go and bring people together. And everybody that's listened to our show from the beginning has heard about these guys and what they do and events they've got going on. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest today, Mr. Kyle Shutic with the Project Zero.
Oh, there I am. Trying to figure out.
Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the invite. Thanks for reading that bio, by the way.
I mean, you only gave me 3 lines, so I had to make the rest up.
I can speak a lot, but writing is just something that I just don't enjoy. So
you were in the Marine Corps. We figured that much before you even got on.
Yeah, I can't write or read. You know?
Hoorah, kill. That's all you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably
That's about
doing really good.
How do crayons taste?
Delicious.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat some later. Don't worry.
They made the candy, like the drinky crayons, but they made like the candy Crayola.
Spoken like a trimmering dude. They got candy. You want to try
Oh
some?
man, I should get some and start passing them out to the guys who come out on trips.
So, Kyle, for everybody that's listening, what we would like to do with you to start is kind of give us a little bit of history of what took you into the military, what kind of stuff, if you want to share, that you did in the military, and a little bit about before where you're at now, the transition of coming out.
Oh yeah. Okay, so where do we start? Yeah, in 1984 now. So I actually have a long line of history of military in my family. I had a great uncle that was in the U.S. Army Air Corps, right? Fort Worth Air Force. He was a radio operator, dorsal gunner in like the B-17, which is like the second deadliest spot. Apparently, I just found that out from a pilot buddy of mine. And so that was really cool. We kind of grew up with in just knowing people from my family who had gone before me. I had two cousins, or second cousins that we call them, because they're like my mom's cousins, but they were like uncles, and they served as Marines in the Vietnam era. One actually deployed twice to Vietnam. The other one stayed stateside. My dad was in the Air Force. And so like we had this like whole idea of like, that's what you do in our family. You know, it's either that or you go do something artsy. So that didn't really attract me at the time. But it wasn't like the initial path, because, you know, you go through high school, and I was talking to the Army and the Navy at some point in time. And then I decided to do that thing called college, which I wasn't ready for yet. Obviously I am now, but then, you know, I did a couple semesters at community college, and it just, I mean, it was okay, but it just thing that I wanted to do. And that was, you know, 2003, 2004. So we already went through the whole like 9/11 deal. And it's not that I wasn't going to, I was still talking to recruiters at the time, but then eventually I just kind of got fed up. And my best friend joined the Marine Corps. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna be stupid too. I'm just gonna go there. I've never talked to anybody. And I decided to join the Marine Corps too. He's still in right now. He's getting ready to retire next year. He's a master sergeant in the Marine Corps, and he went to the aviation side, and I went to communications. And it was, you know, I think it was a good decision at the time. And we're in an era of everybody doing that. You're going to hit a deployment, right? So if you enlisted, you know.
What year did you join, Kyle?
2004. So I graduated in 2003, tried that college stuff for like a year.
Just tell everybody you got kicked out of college and joined before your parents found out. It's okay.
No, not at all. So my parents were really supportive. You know, they were pushing me towards like the Army, and
the Army.
I rebelled. I rebelled. As a matter of fact, I was in the recruiter office, Navy recruiting office, and my friend walked through the hallway right here, like at Kirkendall and Louetta, right? And so you know how it's like the Navy office on the left and the Marine Corps is still that way? He walked by, and I was like, hey, I'll be right back. Hey, Matt, what are you doing? He's like, I'm joining the Marine Corps. I was like, all right, let's try this out. It was that simple. I mean, I was easy to convince. I think we're all pretty like gullible in that state, right?
Mm-hmm. I was the guy that just walked in the door for my recruiter as well. So
what's that?
I was the guy that walked in the door for my recruiter and just joined the Army out of the blue. I mean, I didn't have to work at all, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure I made goal for somebody.
What was that?
I'm sure I made goal for somebody. I just walked in and like, let's go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, recruiter walked around like, yeah, I found that guy. No, you didn't.
No.
It was easy till we got to the MEPS, and they were like, hey, you didn't tell us about these charges. I'm like, what?
What charges?
What?
My dad got the same name as me. This got to be his.
Yeah, I don't even own a credit card.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
No idea what you're talking about. No, I was, really clear. Like I went in, it was really easy. I mean, it was. I shipped within, I think it was like 6 months. I was in debt for a little bit because like I was in college, so I was lazy and out of shape. Now I'm lazy and not as lazy, but out of shape now because, you don't have any standard to hold to. And there's a whole other reason behind that. I can actually get to that a little bit. And so got made weight, did my, like the pre-PFT, I can't remember what it was. You have to do like 2 or 3 pull-ups and did all that and went and shipped. And it's a funny story. I went to boot camp and I was like, oh, this would be great. I'd spent all this time getting together. And then I had like pneumonia really bad. I got held back a month and that sucked so bad. like one whole they took I never really had an X-ray before that I remember, and they're like, hey, see this whole white lung thing? I was like, is that cancer? And they're like, no, that's like fluid in your lungs. So
Sperm.
Where did you go to basic?
Real Marines, San Diego. Come on, man. You know,
Is that how it is? Real Marines are in San Diego, or
They
I
get
thought Real
neon
Marines are in
crayons
Paris
in San
Island?
Diego.
so I spent an extra month there. That was a lot of fun. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I knew a couple of guys that I knew from home that went, and one guy had fractured both sides of his hip, and he was getting med sets, and he was there for like 6 months, just getting, screamed at because he's like, what do I care? But he's like, yeah, that's horrible.
Easy money.
He's probably got a higher disability rating than Matt does.
Probably than all of us. You got like 100% for
Yeah.
What is up with the frog voice drill sergeants? Why do they all sound like that? Is that like something they teach you?
It's like a character, I think.
Man, I'm telling
They
you.
talk to you afterwards, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on?" That, and I mean, half of them smoked. They get in your face, and you could smell it. If you had like a nicotine thing, some of the guys were like, "Oh my god, yell at me again."
So everybody was required to watch Mail Call and then go try it out before they went in the room.
Mail Call. Was that Gunny Irving, right?
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I went to 29 Palms, did communications training for a little bit, and I mean, honestly, like the bulk of like what I remember, it's like it made up this much of my lifetime, but like kind of this much of like how you respond to things. And I think what was really cool was like my first deployment, I ended up being attached to a line company, so infantry company, and which is great or not as a communicator. Like the cool thing is you get hooked up with internet because you work with all the little nerdy guys. The other time, like you get stuck, they're like, hey, we need a comms guy for this patrol or this, and like, fuck, like I didn't sign up for this. But like at the same time, like everybody has their roles, and I think one thing that made me really realize is, they talked a bunch of shit, but like how much people actually depended on each other. Within like a month, you were just kind of seamlessly integrated, and and then they're like, hey, do you know how to fix like my MacBook? I'm like, yeah, I'm not that kind of communications guy, bro. Like I talk on radio.
I can't stream porn very good. Can you fix it?
And so I did 7-8 months in Iraq, 7 to 8. Like I kind of blur because it's Marines do 7-month rotations, but then you got like that. I remember it being kind of like 7.5 to 8, like just where we were kind of phasing in, phasing out. So you come in and we'd sit in like I'm blanking right now off the top of my head. Camp Cupcake. Oh my god. Why can't I? We'd sit at the airfield and then we'd go in someplace else. And I was up in the Haditha area, so that's up by with that Euphrates that comes down, and there's a Haditha Dam. And we sat up on the dam for like a week until we got kind of split out to our patrol base. Or we were not a PB, we were in a COP, whatever levels of names that they give those. And there's like 120 Marines there. Part of it was artillery, part of it was infantry. And it was just really tiny, and probably one of the best times of my life. That was one of the best deployments like I could remember, because there was not a lot of people up in your shit. It's quiet for the most part, like because there's nobody. It didn't beat being on it beat being on a fob, right, where you have these like Ty, you could test this too, like 1,000 people just all over the place. Like here, it's mission first, and then after that, go piss off, go to the gym, do what you got to do, and then get up and rinse and repeat. So I will credit that I really got attracted to the simplicity of all of that, which doesn't really mimic this, but it's.
That's interesting that you say that. What do you think about? Did I freeze?
You froze.
Froze a little bit.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good. So what do you think about like the transition as far as like you get into a certain mindset? So you said that it took this much of your life, but it kind of reacted to this. Do you think that it rewired you to be able to handle more hectic situations? Because
I love chaos. I do. I think I operate in chaos. Like, yes, I'm bored. Like I'm all over the place, but like I'm like organized chaos. And so I think it really can. And depending on the position that you work in too, it can. It's like part of my job was to go be the communications guy in the operations, and then to run the communications with the other like 3 communications Marines that were there with me. And then I had time like working. I didn't stand the guard towers. I stand in the COC, which is the coolest. I'm not staring out in the desert. I stared at a radio. But like when things kind of got shaky, right? I think you just kind of like you learn to either you learn or you don't to manage things. And in my experience, and experiences may vary, right, from person to person, but I really do think there's a lot of good positive qualities that you pick up from the Marine Corps, the Army, the Navy, or whatever in those experiences. And something that I kind of realized a few years ago was like all these positive qualities, and we just like, hold on one second. There we go. All right. Sorry, my computer just decided to blank. All these positive qualities get like inundated with a few of these negative things that you experience in service. And so I'm not saying that they're not effective, because they certainly affected me and other vets that we've worked with, but like there's so many awesome things from your transition, or from what you've picked up that like really apply to, what we're doing here and what I do. So yeah, I really think a lot of that is really applicable and a really sought after skill set that you acquire. It just really
becomes part of who you are, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think it does.
You said you joined from Houston, but are you originally from Houston?
Yeah. So I kind of live in the area we grew up in. My family's from Ohio, Lorain, Ohio, which is like right out of Cleveland or Avon Lake or whatever. Call it Cleveland. Then they migrated to Colorado. They should have stayed there because I love Colorado. You can't follow me on social media.
Say that again. Colorado. Say that again.
Colorado.
Yeah. One more time.
Yeah,
One more time. One more time for the people at home.
Colorado.
I think somebody's from Colorado.
Hey, what part of Colorado? So I don't go to the Front Range. I'm usually back in the mountains. So I really do.
It's still Colorado. You're good.
Yeah, it's still Colorado. It's beautiful. And
birds fly upside down over Colorado because there ain't nothing worth shitting on. You know what I mean?
Man, you need to come with us to San Juan's. Then I'll tell you what, like you'll change your life. So yeah, then they came down here to Houston and had me, and we kind of always lived on this side of town. And then met my wife on this side of town. And so we just kind of came back here. My mom lives 5 minutes that way. My dad's 5 minutes that way. My in-laws are 5 minutes that way. I have a stepbrother, but he's in the Navy in Washington, by the way. So he joined right after.
Is he cute like you, Kyle? Because no,
not at all. No, I just had a new nephew though. That had a kid, man. So
I'll still hit it. I like ugly dudes too.
I don't think everybody's cute, man.
So you gotta be secure with yourself to say that. You're like, yeah. So he's still in the Navy. He joined right after I got from Afghanistan. That was a really cool story, by the way. So Afghanistan is super boring. I did like 7 months, like working in the Joint Combat Operations Center on Camp Leatherneck with Bastion next door. So my counterpart was this like British ox-looking motherfucker. Like,
is that a real thing?
All of him Donk, like was his name.
Camp Leatherneck is a real thing?
Yeah, well, it was.
It's called Camp Leatherneck?
Yeah, Camp Leatherneck. Yeah. Like you can go on Google Earth and look it up, and they showed the whole BLS complex. So it was Bastion, Leatherneck, and Shorebach. And they built that all up during the surge in Afghanistan starting like 2008, 2009, if I remember. Mm-hmm. By the time I was there, they were paving fucking roads. Like they were like laying concrete. And I had a little John Deere Gator I drive to work in with the mufflers cut off. Drive in, do my shift, supervise some of my Marines that were communications guys in the operations center, and go lift, go run, go home. And I was probably in the best shape of my life in Afghanistan. I was like 174, like just, yeah.
So you said
it's like prison, bro.
It was.
Hey, being downrange is prison, bro. You got nothing else to do.
Hey, but I was at the time, so like I got a room to, it was like me and another dude. We'd shove all the like E3s and below, like 12 of them.
Yeah.
So this is crazy, man. Because you said, did he say he rode around in a John Deere with his tank top on?
With the muffler cut off, because secrecy was not important for him. Because they wanted everybody to know where he was to hide everybody else.
But I got to ask this for my people: was there any brothers around in that neighborhood around there? Because that would have scared the shit out of me, man. If I rolled up and the guy's rolling around on the John Deere with the muffler cut off, that means it's time for me to get the hell out of there, bro.
And they were, it was, it's the Marine Corps. Everybody's your brother, right?
Okay.
So like, there was everybody there. Like, it was great. There was, that's the horrible part was there's like thousands of Marines and like TCNs, Army, Navy, you name it. Everybody's there. Like the Royal Air Force.
I was just checking, man. That shit sounds like a scary movie to me, man. Guy rolling around with a tank top and a John Deere with the muffler cut off. That just really sounds like a scary movie, man.
Sounds like every trailer park I've ever been to in my life.
I just made it super loud, so we were coming. I got a buddy who'll text me. He's like, "Hey, remember that time that we were rolling in the Gator?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I almost killed you." I left the wire probably like every couple weeks just to go check on some stuff, and I was on a flight, and I mean, or I'd take this like little 5-mile trip down to this patrol base that we had. I mean, that was it. Like, it was pretty basic, and that was kind of what decided, like, the deployment. I decided not to stay around. I had this OIC I worked for, and he was a lat moving to the field, so he had a little bit more rank and way of doing things. I mean, I love developing people and listening to them. Like, I got into training, and I mean, it's one of my skill sets with the organization too. Like, what are you really good at, and what can I leverage on you that I don't need to do so I can focus elsewhere? That was not the case. It was like every micro decision was, taken off my plate, which was kind of cool. But then I was like a sounding board. So I got asked at the tail end of the deployment, "Hey, Sergeant Shutic, are you going to be on this?" I said, "No, I'm not, sir." He's like, "Why not?" And I was like, "Because I just don't like working for you." Like, I don't know what you're going to tell me. Like, and so that deployment like put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, just because we all got fractured out to go like work for the meth. And it's when you're not with the people you're normally used to working with, and that's what you train for, and then you kind of get just this BS job, which, I mean, it was cool because I got to work out every day, and paid to do it. Thanks, taxpayers. But and there's a lot of jobs like that in the military. I think that one did kind of put a sour taste in my mouth of like not wanting to go back. And like right when I got home, I turned in my gear and I was pretty much done, man. That was 2012.
So what would have kept you around? What do you think would have kept you around? What could they have done, or what would you have done?
So if I didn't get C'd out on my fit rep, so I got C'd all the way down. It was his first fit rep with me, right? And he's like, "Oh, well, hey, for my Marines that I don't really know, I just put a C right down the bat." So his RO, I went to, and I knew him. He's a major, and I was like, "Hey, like, the fuck is with this, bro?" And he's like, "Well, it's his call, and I kind of support my officers." I was like, "Yeah, but you know me, like, so this guy's gonna sit here and just see me down." So that put me,
put a bad taste in my mouth.
Below zone. Yeah. So if I would have picked up staff, I probably would have done it. I probably would have been like, "Okay, we'll stick for a minute." But I got C'd out, and I could probably find a fit rep here somewhere, like, just average Marine.
I'm surprised you don't have it framed on your wall, kids.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the certificate. That's the most important thing I got in the Marine Corps.
This is why you must get A's and B's in school. C's and Jack.
You a fucking officer. Like, it's like,
when did you get it in your mind that you wanted to help veterans for the rest of your life? Because
dude, it took me a minute, bro. Like, I did, so I got out and I went like, I finished college. So I had been chipping away at college for a while. Like, I had a year under my belt. So like another 2.5, 3 years. I did another year of college when I got out. I had the equivalent when I got out, maybe a little bit more. And I just booked it to like U of H or UHD or where did I go to? But anyway, I went down there. When Mike Records was working down there, if any of y'all know him, no, not at all. Okay, never mind you. Oh yeah, you guys all retired. You weren't like in the.
Yeah, never heard of that.
So
sorry.
I said, "Hey,
yeah, I live in Florida. I try not
to
to go to Texas if I don't have to.
Right.
Although he'd
Texas
move here if he
loves you,
came
Al
enough.
Hero. Texas loves you.
DeSantis country, baby. Don't play with us.
Unless he owes me money, I don't remember him.
That's right, exactly. I live with my sister. I don't know him.
So Kyle, talk to me about the Project Zero Alliance.
Yeah. So to get where we're at, man, I went to I went down there. I said, "What's the fastest degree I can get?" And they're like, "Hey, let's like, here, you need like 40 credit hours." I was like, "I think I can do that in a year." And they're like, "No, you can't." I'm like, "Yeah, I can." Why not? So I did that. I went to work in oil and gas. My first job, like 80% of my office was vets, and it was really great working with them. And like we'd all try to help each other out in our careers. We'd look at different volunteer opportunities. So it was really great to just get back into that. Now I'll tell you, in oil and gas on the technical side, all Navy dudes. It was like me, another Marine, another Army guy, and then like the Air Force didn't even come. We had one guy from the Air Force, but I had like 7 guys from the Navy in my office. Now,
that was a cool office.
Yeah,
what's
that was a cool office, man.
That was all right office.
No, that was a cool office.
You guys sub guys? You guys are sub?
No.
Yeah, that's what they were.
Are we what?
Ground pounder. I'm a dirt Navy, baby.
What?
Dirt sailor, bro.
Dirt Navy.
They were subsurface guys.
So Kyle, here's a question.
Yeah.
Easy question. How many ships have you been on in your career in the Marine Corps?
Here we go.
I didn't do a float.
Hey, guess what? You and I have been on the same amount. Hero too. Don't let him lie to you. We took tours during Fleet Week, though. That was cool. Walking around like, yeah, this is a ship. This is
after I've been on boats, like retired ones.
Bass boats. I'm down with that.
Fishing, maybe a little tour. I went on a couple of those old battleships. But yeah, so going back, like that was really fun. I had a lot of good time, helping them because like that was when LSVA was a thing before it became Combined Arms and whatnot. And so like I knew some resources in there. I didn't like volunteer in the organization. Well, I did, but I didn't like, you got some heavy hitters in the community that did that. I'm a background guy. Like I don't like being known for any of this shit that we do.
What?
So, just connect them to the right resources. And why does this thing keep? Hold on, can't see y'all. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, I was literally doing that. Like guys that want to go to school, rewrite a resume to apply to the technical college I worked at. Well, for the company, it was called a technical college. We'd sit there with the resumes, like vets that were coming in, like, oh, I can get you a job in oil and gas, like today. Give me your resume, like, and that was the thing I did from like 2013 to like my first layoff was 15. And then I got picked up in 15, and then I started volunteering full time. Like I say, full time, like between. I had like a year off because finding a job in the oil field was a pain in the ass. It's the only thing right? When you're, unmarketable Marine, and so I started volunteering with another organization. I won't mention their name, and then because I'm no longer affiliate with the organization, that's cool. It's just what it is. We all kind of got to move on. But I was on a wellness call in 2019, and we had a bunch of therapists that were on that wellness call. And the big topic is always veteran suicide, right? And I'm like, well, you all practice fucking therapy, like counseling. Why can't you do that? Well, we can't through the organization. I was like, okay, then let's figure out where you're at. If there's a veteran in there, then let's pay for your services. Like, easy peasy, no, we're going to, call a buddy and all the other stuff. And I was like, well, you called the guy and he shot himself yesterday. So what the fuck, I get pissed off about it. I remember the call distinctly. I was like, cool. Let's just so me and another guy that were in the organization, plus a friend I met while I was contracting with another oil and gas company. I was like, well, let's just try something different. Who gives a shit? Like, what can happen? Either it survives or it doesn't, right? And so Project Zero was born technically in October 2019. We didn't file until January 2020. It's a great year. But all that was born out.
Wait a second. So when did I meet you? When did I talk to you on the phone that day for 3 hours where I had to pull over and actually listen to what you were saying?
2020.
Was it 2020? Okay.
Yeah, because that's the only reason we're on the phone, because we couldn't get face to face. Like we couldn't find anywhere to open.
Yeah. Shout out to Robert Salmon for introducing you to me.
Yeah, Robert Salmon. He did our official 990, by the way. We actually filed, so we made enough where we had to file that whole thing, like where you say, like we've got enough in funding to do that. That was really cool. But yeah, he introduced us, and the idea from there was like veteran wellness and like let's figure it out. I mean, that was it. Like there was no like clear defined whatever. It was like screw these guys, we're going this direction, and improvise, adapt, overcome. Right. The other guy was a Marine too. He was on our board for a while. He left to go do other things, and we've picked up some other board members since then. But what we really had to adapt during 2022. So the idea was we're gonna do those like kind of take what we were doing where I really kind of got the idea, and do more retreat style. But I'll tell you, like 2020 shut all that down. Like you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't get a hotel. You couldn't get like a cabin. You couldn't do any of that stuff. So like, okay, what the hell do we do? Plus we're all trying to figure out where our next paycheck's going to come from, because I contracted, another guy had a business, and the other guy couldn't go into the office. So, so along came September 2020. I had a couple of vets that were struggling, just holed up in the house, and buddy of mine's like, hey, let's go to Colorado and like go on a trip. I said, okay. He's like, I'm gonna take my Jeep. You take, I didn't have what I have right now. We took another one up there. We took like 6 vets, and we met another group that was backpacking at the same time. There's a whole story behind that that I can't get into. And we just like hit every trail and backcountry campsite we could find for like a week. And so every time you just sit down and you'd stop and you'd talk and, light the fire and just literally, decompress. And like the shit that you never hear when you're talking to your buddy on the phone who's struggling at that moment, it's all the shit that leads up to that. So I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like, we had a female combat medic that was out there, and she's like, hey, my time in the Army was absolute bullshit, and unloaded all of her stuff. And I was like, oh, this is cool. This could work. Drove home back to Houston, got a call from a friend. He's like, man, I can do that again. I was like, what? Okay, let's do it again. Like, why not? Like, I don't have anything else. I can't figure it out. So we put the banner up on a trip to Big Bend, took some more vets out there, did the same thing. And then all of a sudden this like overland outdoor thing just became a a thing. And there's other organizations that were doing it at the time. I never heard of them. I have Google. I tried to Google it. I couldn't find them, not in Texas at least. And so we started doing camping trips and overland trips. And
so that was the roadmap that started the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
That was the order got the train to moving.
Yeah, that's what got it moving. Like to start it, we were just trying to do not what the other people were doing.
Gotcha.
So then we just, COVID
kept
happened.
it going from there. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead. We're going to pay a couple of bills at this time because we're at the halfway point. We're going to pay a couple of bills. But when we come back in, we want to get deep down in the roots about what it is that you do, how you came about, and all the good stuff. And then we have some questions specifically for you. So I need you to, you know what I'm saying? Chew on that for a minute. Al, when I say chew on that, don't get excited because I know
is it that time of the show?
We're gonna pay some bills, y'all. Come on, let's go. Hit it time. Let's pay some bills. Yes, sir. Up first is DJ Royalty. I am DJ Royalty. I am your DJ. If you have a party, if you have something that you're trying to put together, contact me. Get to me on my website. It is www.godjroyalty.com, and I will be happy to entertain you and your guests for whatever kind of party you guys are having. Yeah.
So now we're going to go a little bit of different direction for these guys this week. Just really, are you ready to show support for your heroes in style? Look no further than one of our incredible sponsors for today's episode. Got Your Six Culture, the veteran-owned t-shirt company that's making powerful impact one tee at a time. Folks, let me tell you, I'm genuinely thrilled to talk about Got Your Six Culture because not only do they create stylish and comfortable t-shirts, but they're doing something truly remarkable. When you purchase a shirt from them, you're not only getting a premium quality product, but you're also showing your unwavering support for our nation's heroes and the causes they hold dear. With every single co-branded purchase, 25% goes towards supporting various veteran and first responder focused initiatives. And let's talk about their designs. They're just simply badass. Whether you're a proud veteran yourself, a family member, a patriot at heart, you'll find the perfect tee that speaks to your soul. From powerful acronyms that resonate with the spirit of service to patriotic symbols that stir up a sense of national pride, their designs are a testament to the sacrifices made by our veterans and first responders. But wait, there's more. When you shop at Got Your Six Culture, you're not only supporting veterans, you're supporting American businesses too. All their t-shirts are proudly designed and printed right here in the United States, ensuring top-notch quality and supporting the spirit of veteran-owned businesses. So to our listeners, let's show our appreciation for our veterans and first responders in a tangible way. Head over to GotYourSixCulture.com right now and browse their amazing collection of t-shirts. As a special treat for our podcast listeners, use the code Triple Threat and at checkout and get an exclusive 15% discount on your purchase.
15%, y'all.
15. I encourage each and every one of you to wear your support with pride and together. Let's make a difference in the lives of those that have selflessly defended our freedom. Once again, that's GotYourSixCulture.com. And remember to use the code Triple Threat for a fantastic discount. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you to Got Your Six Culture for being an incredible supporter of our veterans and first responders. Hashtag same flag, same oath.
Yeah. Next up, we got the R&B Realty Group. R&B Realty Group is your best in your real estate envision endeavors. If you're looking to buy, sell, rent, lease, whatever it is that you're trying to do when it comes to real estate, look us up. R&B Realty Group is happily to help you in any of your real estate needs. Just give us a call. We're there. R&B Realty Group. Come on, y'all.
All right, so here's another thing. Got Your Six Culture second annual golf scrambles coming up. I'm just telling you guys right now, they're picking up steam. They got sponsors coming on daily. If you're looking to sponsor the event, don't wait. You don't want to be left out of this one. Reach out to us through a direct message. You can go to their website. They also have a link on their Facebook page for the event where you can go check it out as well. Looking for golfers still. We have some room for sponsors. And again, the guy that we're talking to today, Kyle, and his organization, Project Zero, 100% of the proceeds from this event are going to go to support the great things that we're about to hear that they do after this break. So don't wait. Go out there, support Got Your Six, and more importantly, support Project Zero.
This is book number 2 on the Triple Threat Vets reading. This is Combat Vet Don't Mean Crazy. I've not I've not completed this book yet, but I've read the beginning of it, and the connotation is if you're a combat vet that's deployed 7 times like me, then you're automatically something's wrong with you. Well, even if something may be wrong with you, that doesn't mean that you're crazy. That doesn't mean you can't get help. So if you're into reading, check this book out.
And then, as we always do at this part of the show, we like to go over the events that are coming up for the Project Zero. As you can see, they got shark fishing, trail riding, things that Kyle was just describing with us. They're all coming up. You guys can see the events that they have here. All it takes is 2 things. You got to be a veteran or a first responder. From there, you just go to the website, reach out to them, let them know that you're interested. They'll reach back out to you. All you got to do is get there. After that, everything else is taken care of. So go to their website, check out what's going on, and see if you can go enjoy one of their events coming up soon.
So, Matt, what you're telling me is if I'm a veteran, no matter how long ago it was I served, or if I'm a first responder, do you have to be an actively first responder fireman?
You just have to have done it in the past.
And you can show up and they're going to show out. That's what you're saying?
Absolutely. They're gonna put you into an event that's going to help you be around people that are just like you, talk to people just like you, and not have to worry about somebody telling you what you need to do is. You can just work it out together.
Okay. I'm with that. Yeah.
So this is an event that I saw that's happening up in north of Houston, PTSD Awareness Hike for Life. I've been to a couple of these in the past, some years ago, and it doesn't matter if the event is actually put on very well. If you get a bunch of veterans and first responders together for PTSD awareness, and you're getting out there and doing a little bit of walking, hiking, maybe you got your little silkies on like Al always likes to wear, then that's a good day. So get out and support those guys. Check it out, PTSD Awareness Hike for Life. We'll have to come back to that. We'll have to come back to that one. I think that's too much for right now.
There we go. Bills paid, y'all. Let's get it.
All right. Welcome back, Kyle. So now we get into the part of the show that you guys have this triangle that you guys like to put on pages, and there's like a whole meaning behind the triangle. And I know that if I remember correctly, that's something fairly new in what you guys are bringing through in maybe the last year of like describing that in. Can you talk to us about what that triangle is, what it means, and how you guys came up with it?
So we were looking for different ways to kind of describe wellness, and this went through some different iterations. So like you have wellness and well-being, and they are well-being is like how you perceive you are and how life is going, and wellness are like the things that you do to get there, right? And so we tried to simplify it, and we tried to do things that align us to this wellness triangle. So the first is mental wellness, right? What are the things that you do to nourish your mental wellness? Counseling, right? You just did an advertisement, for a counselor that wrote a book, getting together with other people, like-minded people who understand and support you. Getting out into nature, is a big thing I really believe in, and at least the people that come around us really believe in. And so we just try to define everything as simple as possible, which is what areas do we affect, right? And you could do, mind, body, spirit, whatever that looks like. But for us, it's simply, if it falls in one of these categories, we're about doing that. Fortunately for us, a lot of stuff that we do falls into multiple categories. And so we use that as a kind of a symbol to really convey to anybody who's in front of us, like what we really concentrate on, right? Where are we in this whole solution to veteran first responder mental health, right? Or well-being. And so we convey that. And honestly, the mental aspect is we offer cost-free clinical counseling in the state of Texas. That was like one of the big things that we kind of brought up. And so that's like your mental wellness, right? Like we take that head on. I mean, 100%, we cover 100% of the costs. That'll just deal. We just had a big kind of thing that happened this week. That's going to enable us to do even more in that capacity. So we had some counselors that came on pro bono, just said, hey, I want to help. Because that was always in the back of our mind, right? I told you the old mission, hey, why don't you get off your ass and help our people?
There you go.
So I got a hold of a couple counselors that are licensed in the state of Texas, and I said, I just want to help people. Said, okay. So we started finding clients. We on the pro bono side, we probably helped 50 to 70 veterans. Some of them, like, they didn't even report back to me. They're like, hey, I got them. And I'm like, I need to track numbers because we got to grow this thing. And then this past week, we just inked an MOU out of Houston to help us provide more counselors. They got a stable of counselors that we'll be able to refer to, send a letter of referral to with our endorsement saying, hey, they're cleared for this many sessions. And it doesn't mean they're limited to that many, but we start here because we got to track for accountability. And so if you sign up with us on our new form that'll come out on the revamped website, which that's kind of on me to do, I wear a lot of hats, you'll be able to hear from us, get referred out within 48 hours, and then get in contact with the counselor within 48 hours. And that's for a lot of immediate needs, right? Right now, we're really, I'd like to say we have a lot of veterans that would come through. I don't like to say that. We have a lot of first responders coming through. Like literally probably like 75% of our clients are first responders. Half of those are prior service anyway, but that demographic coming through. So the organization that we just did an MOU with, an agreement with Jewish Family Services, I can't do anything like this, their logo, but we signed an MOU. My clinical director, their clinical director, and me came together and said, we want to expand what we do. We don't have the capacity, you do. They said we'd love to because we typically don't work with veterans and first responders on the regular, although we all know how to, but we have the capacity to do so. And it's just because it's Jewish Family Services, it's non-denominated, any sex, creed, religion, doesn't matter. We come through there. And that all came from one of our board members doing what a board member should do, hunting down opportunities, originally to do mental health classes. And I said, well, you got counselors, can I use them? And they said, it'll cost. And I said, well, what's the cost? And it was the cost that we currently pay our counselors now. And I said, let's do it. So we worked for the past 3 or 4 months to get that deal together and signed it just this week. So it's like a huge step in what we did, because we had pro bono counselors, remember, and a couple guys that were then came on contract we were paying. And now like we have, if you were to come in, then you would get matched with the counselor, either from the ones in our stable, which is a couple, to their stable, which is more than a couple. And it's 100% cost free. Like you don't, no EAP, no insurance, nothing. We put the bill and get you the help you need when you need it to get you through that segment of life, right? That's maybe bogging you down, intermediate, and hopefully to a point where you could actually be comfortable not having to go through the cost-free confidential side. You know, you can go see your in a department psych. So that's huge for us. Sorry, like I had to that's like the thing that I told you I could tell you about. So,
yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, I remember when we first met, it was how are we going to find a way to make a little bit of money so that we can help people get counseling? Yeah. Because I remember back then, although you had a whole bunch of people that were willing to help, they still had to get paid. Right.
Yeah. People got to eat, man. We all got.
I think we're right at 2 years after that, right?
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah, we are.
And you guys are now offering it, right? So the strides that are being
100%.
made there are good.
Yeah.
How do you feel what's been the reception like to offer people help? Because I remember there's been times in the past where we've talked and you've said, believe it or not, it's harder to get these guys to get help than you think. we all know that.
Yeah,
but I think you were mainly talking to me at that point about like the first responder side, which you said now is one of your biggest ones coming in.
They are. So that's all word of mouth, from my understanding. I try not to dabble in that. I try to really keep a line between. I'll deal with operations, but I won't deal with like the functionality inside of it, because we truly keep it confidential. Like I'll know that they're an officer simply because it'll say officer received this many counseling services, so we know what we're doing. But they're referrals, right? So one guy maybe is either on sharing could depend on what they do, right? Sitting in a fire truck or the ambulance, doesn't really matter. And shares that with somebody else that they're getting help, because at that point they're in crisis, say, hey, here's how I went. And like, it's just, that's what works. A couple of those is outreach from our counselors, just seeking, saying, hey, we have a place for help, but it's pretty organic. Like we don't advertise it too much. We do, but like nothing comes through the website that way. So It really does work, because somebody will say, like Ty, you and I, or Matt, you and I, or Al, any of y'all will have a conversation, say, hey man, I actually been getting help. Like, oh really, you have? Yeah, like I go through this organization, and it whether it's us or the other ones that exist, and that's how we drive traffic. So it's been really successful in that, right? I think now that we're able to have a little bit more continuity for the next who knows how long now. it'll just grow from there. But yeah, we were literally like, how can we find people to help? And even guys have been on trips like, hey, I'm really looking for help. Like, hey, I got this service. They would just say, nah, I don't need it. I'm gonna go to VA. Like, don't get me wrong.
I'm not asking for help.
At the VA too. Yeah.
I'm not asking for help, Kyle, because the last time I asked for help, I ended up in an inpatient facility for like 45 days, getting probed and shit by the aliens.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It's a good time. I'm gonna do it again.
But you heard the last part of that though. It was awesome.
It was awesome. Hey man, everybody's got their own path to it though. But yeah, and it just really kind of depends on where you go to. We've had people referred to inpatient. I've had to have a meeting with a counselor, and she's like, hey, we're getting somebody into an outpatient right now too, which is great. Like, that's the way the system is supposed to work. Pretty fluid and flawlessly. I'm not going to say we're perfect, but like, at least because we don't have a lot of bureaucracy driving the bus, like we can kind of make the mission happen the way we want to make it happen. We're not an internal department, psych services, which, hey, they have a great job there, but like when that sits in a place where people is highly visible, they're not going to go in there. And they'll tell me that. Supervisors will say, no, that's not true. And then the guy's like, yeah, it is. It's same thing with dealing with the VA. Like there's good VAs and bad, like there's good branches and bad branches. And like, I hear both coming out of here. I really don't care. I'm not in that side of it. All I want to do is connect you to a quality person to get you through where you're at right now. That's it. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. Like, you can say, well, the VA said, cool, whatever. Like, we're just here to help because our donors enable us to do that. So yeah, that's that side of it.
Kyle, are you sure you're in the Marine Corps, bro? You seem way too fucking intelligent. Like,
He's got like 3 degrees, bro.
So do you, motherfucker. You ain't that smart. I was counting, literally counting all these big. I was writing them down as you said these big ass words. I was like, oh shit, gotta Google that
shut the shit off. Like, you get out of the Marine Corps, like you're done with the Marine Corps.
Like, damn, bro. I thought you were down. I was like, or maybe he's an officer. He sounds really smart.
No. I like literally just. I mean, I'm just too stupid to quit.
So you guys have 2 more, but you have 2 more parts of that pyramid, right? We talked about the mental, but you also have social and physical, right?
Sure.
So walk through the physical side of that. What are you guys doing there?
Okay, so the physical side. So we teamed up with, and actually we're still working on this because it's kind of been the soft launch. Like a while ago, I've done like CrossFit, Jiu-Jitsu, Orange Theory Fitness. I was just wearing a shirt the other day, and really, when I was doing that, like, you're in a good spot. Like, physical health is mental health, right? Like, I got
my gi. I'll break out my gi. I got my gi. We'll go.
I'm actually fixing to start again next week, dude. I blew up my back in February, and like, it's been a mental struggle because I can't be with my friends, like choking the shit out of them.
I took a couple weeks off just because I'm fat and out of shape now. So I'm like, fuck, I can't even. I'm all winded. I'm like, I'm gonna lose weight. Then I'm gonna go back and whoop all these girls' asses and these little kids too.
Oh yeah, they're choking the hell out of you now.
7-year-old.
My kids do it. I've met some guys who come out on trips that are vets that do it. And I met a couple of vets that were just struggling to, like, they couldn't go. Like, they're like, man, I can't afford this. It's expensive. Like, I paid $160 a month, right? It is what it is. Like, people got to eat, right? People got to make it. Like, you can't complain at a guy providing an expert service to you. Anyway, so along came that, and I was like, well, can we pay for it? Can I help you? And he's like, yeah, there's another organization I applied to, but they only had so many things. I was like, cool. Well, I'm gonna go negotiate the rate with this guy. So I did. Went to the academy and I negotiated the rate down to $50 a month, and so for 12 months. And he's like, okay, well, yeah, I can do that. Like, that's fine, And then on the back end, I covered it. So I was like, hey, you pay the 50, and then you just show me that you're going. I don't need social media posts every day. There's some organizations that do that. We don't do the Weedify, which is great. Like, if you're a veteran and you want to start jiu-jitsu, go to Weedify as well. I don't give a shit. Just go. But we said, hey, if you can't get into these, like, we'll just be another option for you. We've had a couple guys start CrossFit as well. I don't care. It has to just be group based. Like, it's something that gets you together with people. So it mingles into the social side of things. So, and then we'll work with the gym. So you present the gym the little thing and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Can you work with me? It's an easier conversation to say, can you count me, or I want to quit, and then we'll cover 12 months at $50 a month. We just had a Mustang in the Army. He was an enlisted ODA guy that turned into an officer, and he's a medical officer. He's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's like, oh, I don't qualify. I was like, does it help you? That's it. He's like, yeah, it does. Talked to the gym, covered him. He just got his brown belt like a month ago. Sent me a picture of it. It was great. He's like, dude, I would have not done this if it weren't for this.
Bro, I got really two black belts.
Oh, do you?
Walmart and Target. Both of them were on sale, dude. They're nice too. Fuck.
I got a brown and a black belt.
Yeah, bro. Mine's reversible. You know what I'm saying?
But so that really covers that aspect. We don't do a lot in like showcasing that and trying to get the community behind that. I just want to provide an opportunity. Like that's it. Like I don't really care. Like just get out and get moving and meet with other people. Hold on one second. My computer.
Hey, real quick, Kyle. I want to say hey to Josh Morris. He said I get my back blown out all the time. I really want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Josh Morris's smoking hot mama. Mom, your mom is still hot, and when I go to Georgia, I'm probably gonna hit it. Just so you know.
But hey, he really is hard in the paint. Look at that.
It goes down here.
He's pained today.
His mom really is smoking, Kyle. Like I mean, oh my God. Ooh, well, them legs for days. Tell your mom I said, "What up, Josh?" Hey.
So, yeah. So I mean, that was it. Like it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't anything just special. Like another guy I went with, and he's like, "Dude, we could help some people." And so, all right, that works. And then the last bit was like the last bit's like our core, aspect was just getting outdoors, which I just told you we happened upon. Got in a Jeep, grabbed a tent, grabbed some vets, hit the outdoors, and now we do. 11 to 13, 6 to 11. I don't know how many. I did like 13 last year on my own, supporting the organization. But
Kyle, how do this work? So I know Matt kind of mentioned it a little bit, but so essentially you guys are doing overlanding trips or camping trips. So a veteran, like you said, goes on the website, registers or signs up, right? And if there's space available, they drive themselves or fly themselves to wherever, right? And then they camp with you guys. Food's provided for them. I'm just curious to know how the process works for anybody.
Oh yeah. So there's a form that has that schedule on there that we send out. And you sign it. All you do is say, "I want to go on this." Our schedule comes out at the beginning of the year. We'll modify it. We've had to modify it. So the one that you have is actually modified now, because shit happens, right? Semper Gumby, right? So they'll sign up on the form. Me or somebody else will have an interview with them. We'll schedule a time. Although nobody likes to email back. Ty. He's like, "What, me?" And I'll say, "Hey, let's talk."
You mean text?
What? Yeah, we text.
Nobody means a text back. Well, yeah.
If you would have emailed Ty, it'd have been good to go.
We're going.
So it's very simple information. What are you interested? Who are you? Where are you from? Do you have family? Because we're starting to do more family stuff. Just trying.
I don't want my wife to go. Fuck.
Depends on the trip. And then, what are you capable? If you do overland, are you capable? If you're not, who gives a shit, dude? Like, I got a Jeep in the driveway. You can drive in the right seat. Like, who cares? It's about getting out. It's not about the whole driving experience. There's a misconception there that we sometimes get. I'll fix that. Oh, we'll rent a Jeep too. I've done that already. Put you in the right seat, teach you how to do what we do. We do shark fishing, land-based shark fishing. It doesn't really matter, but you get up on the trip. And right now I've started to pay mileage at the nonprofit rate. So if you drive, you get 14 cents a mile, which helps. If you have a hybrid, it's great. If you have a Jeep that gets 10 miles.
Hybrid. We're not in the Air Force. Come on.
And so, we have a conversation. What are you interested in doing? We've had a couple of people that come back that we're onboarding as ambassadors now because they want to keep going because it's really good for them. But I need to give opportunity to other people. They said, "Well, I'll help." Okay, you want to help? What do you want to do? I want to do logistics. I want to do trip planning. I want to cook. Fine. And then they want to take on a trip. So past couple trips, I haven't even been on. I've had other people running them for us. But the great thing is we've gotten to a good range of people. So you go on there. The form link is usually on social media as well. So the website, it can be really hard to find with our calendar. We are in transition to that as we've kind of revamped into that triangle. That's what we're sticking with. And you go on there and you literally get an email back within a week, maybe two, if I'm on vacation, I was just in the mountains for a couple of weeks, and we have a conversation in 15, 20 minutes. Where are you at? What are you looking for? Yeah, I just want to get out, and that's it. I mean, and then we'll put you onto the trip and then you get like a 1 month warno, 2 week, and then we have a meeting before. When you're done, you submit your direct deposit form, you submit your mileage, and we pay you out. We put you into, hopefully, if you jump into our Discord server or chat server, and we just kind of try to keep you engaged. And that's been the mission this past year. Is just we got a lot out, but drawing them back in. They had the one hit, but then you also see the ones that went out and then they start taking their family out, fishing, hunting, do whatever. Who cares? And that's more a success story than them coming back. So but it is that easy. It's really easy, you know. And you get to meet people like, you know, me, Joe Belcha, like Alan, like all these guys have kind of started with us.
We definitely appreciate that, man, and everything that you've done, and you know, spearheading that and being there for these veterans, man. That's outstanding. That you know you
blurred,
did that. Yeah, Ty, you blurred, man. I can't even see what you're doing right there. You sent something I didn't see what it was. He's gonna Ty's tight. He's gonna put it on the screen. Watch and see. I know he's gonna do it.
Were those naked pictures? Oh, I don't want to see that. I want a naked. What's that? he's got clothes on, bro. Don't show that.
No, I'm in the Discord server here. They post all kinds of pictures of what everybody's up to now, their vehicles, what they're up to, things they're doing. So yes. I mean, we had a group that was in White Sands. A bunch of officers had. It was really strange because I was friends with a bunch of officers. That never really happened in my entire career, but at White Sands, I was friends with a bunch of officers, and they had this Jeep club, and they took us out, and you know, we just went and four-wheeled, and the camaraderie that's built over that has literally lasted until now because we do something called the Rugged Retreat, and you know, they meet up and they'll go do something whitewater rafting, you know, Jeep overlanding. I think they've done it like 5 or 6 times. I've only went once, but I love the ideas that you put together, man. I love having you as a friend. I love listening to you, and I love your success. So thank you very much for that. And so Scott, I got a question for you.
Go ahead, shoot it.
Are we gonna let Kyle Shutic get in on this top 5 of all time?
We got to.
Hey Kyle, I know y'all do real quick about your overlanding trips. Do y'all let real men go, guys who drive trucks, not Jeeps, or actual men allowed to go, guys who drive like F-150s and shit? You know what I'm saying? Are we allowed to go? We have to own a Jeep.
I mean, we're kind of a solid front axle kind of person to take you anywhere, but like, you know, that's okay. Wow, man. Honestly, though, we've had we can make it happen. You know, some people will be like, oh, you can't have this, you know, like Civic. Oh, that's true. We can't. Like, we got to be really careful with that. But honestly, man, like if you've got it and you want to bring we had a group I think we do a trip every Veterans Day, by the way. Every Veterans Day, we're down in Palo Duro Canyon. We had a group that came out. It was one guy who had the Jeep, and he brought 3 of his buddies out. He worked with it. They were all vets, man, and they had like the best time. Like, they were on their own fucking program, kind of, and which we don't
OFP,
really sit down.
My favorite.
No, they were OFP, and they came back and hung out. You know, they were with us on a trail because we had to guide it. They were just enjoying the hell out of themselves. They come back and shoot the shit, and we don't do anything. Like, there's no like sit down. There's no like mental health education program. It's just like you invite them to get to this spot again and like say it's okay to do it. And it works. I can't quantify it. Like, they asked me when we apply for grants and stuff, they're like, how do you quantify this? I was like, feel good. I don't know. Like, what do you want me to do? Like,
just like
you almost want to tell them.
It's like blind masturbation. It just
I know.
Yeah, tell the people at the grant board, like, just one of you people come out one time and experience it, and then tell me why we do it. But what's crazy is you know, you have to quantify everything into a sentence. You can't do that.
Well, we've grown so slow, but we've been super strategic about it. Yeah. So if you want to help out, like some people are like, oh man, we can do this with our organization. I was like, why don't you just come out and try the goods first and then go back to your organization? I don't want to like partner with you yet. I'm about collaboration. Don't get me wrong, but like, let's figure that out. And they do. And they're like, okay, this does work. So that's what we're doing with fishing right now. So with the fishing deal, Ty, you're coming out this month.
25th, right?
Yeah. Ring the boy out. You know, that's all paid for. We got a house that you can stay in. It's right on the beach. We got the tower set up out there.
Thank you for saying that. I told you I failed to tell my wife, and so I told her we were going to be living in a tent on the beach, and she looked at me like I was crazy. I mean, and I was prepared to stay on the beach. I mean, I was fine, but she said, nope, I don't think we're doing that with Tatum. But
no, we have a beach family trips. We have a beach house. We got 2 smaller veteran trips that are coming up in September, October. About 4 or 5 vets we'll take out there with 2 other vets that'll be like helping out the house. They're 2 40-foot, like 21 RVs that are parked right there. And I mean, and we take them out, let them fish, have a good time. And then, we're there in a beach house. I already paid for it. Food's already ready. Like, we're good. And then we got 2 more overland trips. We got the Rim Rocker, which is going Montrose, Colorado to Moab. And then Veterans Day in Palo Duro Canyon. And then we're going to start planning 24, maybe in a month or 2. I got to get everybody on the same schedule because, you know.
So we're going to jump into a question with you here in a minute, Kyle. But what I want to do first, though, is I just want to remind everybody about the golf event that we have coming up in September that we're partnering with you guys on.
Yeah.
I do know that the event last year, I'll tell everybody right now, I met Ty met Kyle. This is almost like my cousin knew this guy that knew this person, introduced me to Kyle. We called Kyle and said, hey, we're going to do a golf tournament for you. Kyle was like, okay. And we did the golf tournament last year, and we raised a good amount of money for him. To be able to donate to the organization in the amount of $12,000, which I think helps springboard them into 2023 to get into the way they're going. And so I just can't express enough. If you play golf or if you don't, we don't even care if you can play golf. You can just go out there and hang out.
You can suck. Like,
You can
Yeah,
dress-
if you
can
suck,
dress
it'll
like a
be better
golfer.
for us because we'll be able to make fun of you.
That's me,
I'm
man.
We
gonna
even have
look
prizes
good.
for the
I'm
last
gonna
place
look good.
team.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
look
oh.
good.
I'm with
Yeah.
you, man. I'm gonna get fresh.
I'm gonna look good. Me and Scott gonna be on a team because we're gonna be
But
the
we're
best dressed golfers out
The
there.
terriblest players.
Sucky as hell.
That's
That's
right.
okay. But we got a trophy for you when you come in last. Don't worry about it.
That's all right. We're not coming in last.
No,
That's,
no. Hey,
we
whoa,
don't do
whoa.
that. We're not that
do
bad.
I cheat,
There's-
motherfucker.
I know
There's
the
one
score
thing
guy.
we're not gonna do. We're not gonna come in last. Even
I'll
if
bribe the score guy and I'll
I know the
cheat,
score.
so
That's okay.
No,
But
They're going to buy 35 mulligans.
Yeah.
You ain't never
On a-
lied, bro.
and on the
And I
note,
don't even
like
know what the fuck that
what you
is.
guys, what you guys see we're doing right now, this is what we do at the golf event. We're gonna have a raffle. We're gonna have something that you probably never seen in golf before, and I'm not really gonna like let the cat out of the bag, but it's gonna be something you're gonna talk about if you ever go to any other golf tournaments. We're gonna have the live auctions. We're gonna have giveaways. We're gonna have games. You could win $10,000 if you're really good at golf and shoot a hole in one. There's just a whole bunch of stuff that we're doing out there, and the whole purpose is to raise money to be able to offer the services that Kyle's been talking about today. And so, again, if you play or don't, we'd love to have you. If you'd like to sponsor, you could even, if you're anywhere out there, just reach out to us. You can sponsor a team. We're always happy to have someone sponsor a team and invite some veterans or first responders to come out and play at the event. So anything that you want to do to help us out, it's on 9/11. You know, like I said, it's filling up now. We still have room. We like to say we always have room, but don't wait too long. So
Info at gotyoursixculture.com.
And just in case you don't know what Got Your Six is, I know some people were like, what is Got Your Six? Just simplify it. It's like, I got your back, right? So 6 o'clock is on the bottom, 12 o'clock is on the top. When you reference that, it's like saying, I got your back. I know there's some people that ask the question that's not military when they say, what's Got Your Six? I'll explain it to you. So shouts out to the DJ for giving you that jewel, because I know some people want to ask the question, but they're not going to ask the question. So I'm answering the question. Kind of thing.
yeah.
And mine's got your 6 inches. You know what I'm saying?
I got the other 6. He's got the first 6. I got the other 6.
6 inches from the ground, baby.
Yep. All right. So, Al, why don't you ask Kyle the important question we need him to answer?
Boxers or briefs? Oh, now that one.
Ooh, no.
You can ask him that one too.
Yeah.
Boxer briefs, best of both worlds.
See, there I
Maybe,
go.
guys, I told you we wear our boxers on backwards. It makes it so much easier. You know what I'm saying?
You guys do you.
Yeah, you're in those pants by yourself, sir.
Also, during COVID, I was safe. When I masturbated, I put a condom on. Just want to throw that out there so that way people who are like, oh my God, COVID, nope, condom, safe, everything for myself.
I got a guy just like I got a friend just like we call him. He's our Ben. Ben is his name.
You see, my sis says she always got my 6. That's for real, man. You see Crystal Banks Thomas in there. That's my little sis, man. She always got my 6. So we got to get her a Got Your 6 culture shirt just for that, for sure. All right, so Cal, I'm not gonna let you off the hook. You got to let me know. I'm the DJ. I just need to know where you're at.
Sure.
So we're gonna change the pace a little bit. I need to know your top 5 boy bands of all time, and I need to give me the order 1 through because I know
I got this.
You look like a Backstreet Boys or back type of guy.
Oh, baby,
no.
Backstreet.
My wife is.
Something. Give me something.
I guess top 5. Christ, I don't know. Like, what does my wife listen to? I need to get her up here.
No,
Like,
no,
what is
because
it?
you're
Wait,
taking these
Kyle,
these long trips, Kyle.
We
that
know that you listen to boy bands,
Right.
No,
you're
I mean,
taking
yeah,
these
you
long
do.
trips.
New
You're taking
Kids
these
on the
long
Block.
trips.
Come on, New Kids.
Yeah,
New Kids on the Block. There you go. That's
Kids on the
NSYNC,
Block.
Backstreet, New
yeah,
Edition.
them. What's the 98 degrees, right?
98
Was that
degrees.
the one?
Hey,
Okay.
FYI, they were the first band or boy band signed by Motown Records. Just
But
so y'all
really?
know.
Al, let him do his home. Let him. Do
Al
his
just
thing.
gave
You
him the
can't give
list.
him- you
Kyle
can't
was
help
like,
him.
"Damn,
I'm
he
so
took my
excited
answers."
about boy bands. You know what I'm saying? Look at me. I look
I mean, would
AJ
you
from the Backstreet Boys all day.
would you call Boys Men like Backstreet like boys?
That's a boy
No,
band. It's all
I guess
boys.
so. Yeah, it's all men.
Boy-
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer them. They had the more. They
All
had
right,
they had a
so
better-
run it back to me again, because Al was all over the place giving you all these jewels. I need to
Whatever.
know.
Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees. What is that other the
said
old
Boys-
one?
you
The one
said
that
Boy-
started.
You said
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys.
The Temptations. That's a good boy
Kids.
band.
New Kids.
The Temptations, yeah, fuck it, why not? Like, and then we'll do the Boys to Men as well. Like, they shouldn't qualify as a boy band, but whatever.
Nah, you should have said New Kids. They're the originals.
New Kids, yeah, them. You know,
You ain't got no. You not know Tears for Fears or nothing like that. Bon.
Ooh. Yeah.
You don't know who Tears for Fears is?
Oh, somebody said All for One. Nice, Josh.
The All
Good.
for One.
Hey,
All for One,
there you
yeah, I
go.
do know
Oh
that.
man.
Color
okay.
Me Bad. Come on, man.
What is the one they're like Girls in the Summer? That was another one that they did.
So here's one for you. Ready? Would you guys consider this one a boys band? What
What's
about
that?
the Beatles?
Yeah, the Beatles are a boys band.
They
like
suck.
only 4-member band
original.
would then be a boys band, right? Like,
They
you think
suck.
like,
But
oh,
they're like
Megadeth
grown
is a
men
boy
type
band.
of thing.
Yeah, they
That's
suck.
okay.
Though. Nobody likes the Beatles. They
Oh
suck.
my goodness!
How did the Beatles suck, man?
They
Come
garbage.
on, bro.
Hot garbage. Keep your ass in Europe, you old punks.
Damn.
This America,
Oh,
baby. We got
man.
real music here.
Al said, "I'll take me some 98 degrees
man.
over them any day."
98
Hey, look,
degrees.
Clayton said it.
All right, well, before we go, we got to give a shout out to our listeners. I'll hit them up, man. We got some people, some live viewers that are on live. Even if you're on live and you're pickabooing and you're not showing up because you just want to watch, we see you, we love you, we thank you guys for coming out too. But you guys who are showing up in the chat, we love you guys because you guys are showing up every time you're showing up and showing out. We want to give appreciation for you guys
Hey, hold on.
coming back and following us in.
Here you go. There we go. We got a future sailor. Hey, Andrew Sharp.
Andrew, what's going on, Drew?
Congratulations, brother. Hey, welcome to the squad, baby.
Andrew, write in the chat where you joining from. What
Future
city and
sailor in
state?
the house.
Hey, and that goes kind of for anybody. If you're viewing live, please name drop yourself in the chat so we can give you a
Absolutely.
shout out, or I could talk shit about you. So either one is cool. So yes, because we can't see everybody unless you comment. So make sure you give us a little name drop, like my boy Andrew Sharp right here. So
Yeah.
hey Andrew, if you're listening, I know you're listening. Where you joining out of? Where you from? Where'd you join out of? Who was your
Massachusetts? I never was able to spell that, man.
I can't even say it, bro. Massachusetts. You know what I'm saying?
Massachusetts. Massachu, and then it gets messed up. It's like SE something. T.
Man, you can read it on the screen. Come on, man.
But my screen is up there. If I look up there, then it looks like I'm looking in space. So somebody told me I look like I'm looking in space. So I got to look this way.
Andrew, what job you pick? Andrew, what job?
He's a nuke, bro. He's come out of Massachusetts.
Oh, he's smart. Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually has been texting back and forth throughout the week. He said he's studying to be an EMT right now. He comes from a military and veteran community, plus first responder family. So he'll probably do something medical because he's training to be an EMT right now.
There you go.
But hey, thanks for listening to the show, Andrew.
Yeah,
Andrew,
congratulations on joining the Navy. You are a smart man.
Oh, hold on, my thing come on.
Don't sleep on your stomach.
Yeoman or OCS?
Go OCS, dude. Like, do yourself.
Yeah, bro. Go be a cake eater, bro. They make more money and they live better. So do that.
Yeah, do it. They all.
Sure.
All right, real quick. Any questions for the podcast from the live viewers? Any questions? We're gonna take two before we're through. If anybody has anything, it's your turn to pop up on the screen and tell us what you mean. Nothing. Is anything coming in? Okay.
Started.
Anybody? Nope.
Hey, Valdez showed up. Yeah, look at that guy.
What's up, Valdez? We see you.
What's up,
He's
dude?
showing off that shark.
Anybody else popping in?
He's got a freaking monster.
Hey, Kyle, you need to come down here.
Where's that?
Hey, you need to come down here, bro, to Florida, man. They just caught a 700-pound, 10-foot tiger shark.
Why?
Off the beach on accident. Like,
But why?
You know what I'm saying?
Why would anybody want to do that?
It was an accident.
They don't swim in air. You bring them on shore.
Yeah, they were on their honeymoon, bro. We're like, I think I got a fish, and like, holy shit.
Oh man.
Why would anybody want to do that?
Yeah, Florida would be fun. Like
It's all fun and games till that shark gets back. Yeah, okay.
Who's watching
Florida
Navy
is
football
Texas.
year? Not very many people, except for in December.
Yeah, I watched that one game.
Yeah.
Colorado
Army beat
Buffalo.
Navy.
Yeah, y'all been whooping our asses the last couple of years.
What?
Navy's been getting an ass.
Al
the
don't
last
watch
couple of years.
sports. Y'all, he already told you. He wears his
Yeah.
boxes on backwards. He ain't watching sports.
That is a sport, bro. Dodging people in the yard, bro. You ever been in prison? That's a sport, bro.
The original dodgeball, literally.
Yeah, bro.
No locked doors. No locked doors.
What's up, Chief Carmona? Thanks
Don't
for
look at me,
watching,
little
buddy.
Army,
Don't look
Sink
at me.
Navy. Somebody ban him. He can't come back
Yeah.
home.
Nah, I can't get that comment to go away. It's just gonna stay up there for the rest of the show, I guess.
Here goes
Watch, you ready?
Cancel
Dang,
Oh.
what
code
happened?
coming.
Man, somebody else
Right.
knows how to mess with the stuff.
Uh-oh. My sister's about to start some stuff. She talked about the Broncos.
Uh-oh.
What?
Broncos only.
Hey, DJ. Just
yes.
so you know, hey DJ, let me tell you something too. You obviously
What you got?
you asked the wrong question, man. You put up the top 5 rappers of all times, and you ask us about boy bands.
Well, I asked Kyle that question because I can already tell by how Kyle was running that if I would have asked him the top 5 rappers of all time, he would have his thing would have froze up. Damn computer would have froze up and everything. Go ahead, go ahead for the shits and giggles, Kyle. Give me your top 5. See, DJ knows.
Hey, first of all, this is crazy. I think somebody asked me, said I can't say. Yeah, that would be my last meal there. Somebody's mom there, Sierra. For real. If I'm on death row and they're like, what is your last meal going to be? I want a big broad. I want a big girl in the cell with me.
Oh,
and,
my God.
You know, hey, deliciousness. It's going down in the DM. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so
Now it'll be macaroni and cheese and hot dogs, just like every year on my
Yeah,
birthday.
maybe some spam and white bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Go ahead, Kyle. Top 5, baby. Who you got?
Top 5.
Hey,
Kyle, give it a
Kyle.
shot. Just give me
Will
Yeah, just give
Carmona
me-
said he's going to give you 5 minutes to Google a top 5.
just go. Come on, Kyle. You got
I
something.
don't know. Like, I mean, you got like Houston rap. Like, that's kind of the only thing I
Give
really
me-
know.
Shit.
Well, then
Here,
give us
I'll
your
go
top
off of
5
this
Houston
one.
rappers.
Give them to me.
I don't know all the Houston ones. Hey, you know what? I'll put Bun B up there. Like, I'll listen to T.I. is another one that I really like. Like, he's on
Okay.
a workout list of mine.
Okay.
All right.
I will go with. Let's go. Well, the shit before he started producing Dre, I like the old school, like stuff like that, and Snoop as well. And then, how do you have Lil Wayne up there? Like, all his shit's auto tuned. Like, that's something that turned me off when all that stuff came out. And then, who's my other one?
This list is messed up, man.
I didn't like Jay-Z. Actually, I did like Jay-Z. Like his
He's
old
damn
his
sure
old
not
stuff.
number 1. I do feel bad for you, Kyle, because I feel like DJ Royalty up here is singling you out because you're the whitest dude on the podcast right now. And he is singling. First of all, he asked you about boy bands, so that is a reverse racism statement, anyways.
That's very
all of us not like
Man,
hey,
we could do. No, Kyle knows. Yeah,
Man.
I do. Like, if
See,
you're
I
talking
got
about
boy
dudes,
bands like
South
New-
Park Mexican in SPM. He's in fucking prison, isn't he?
Man, you say boy bands for me, man. I'm thinking like New Edition.
hey, meet the
You
new
know what I'm
edition,
saying?
baby.
Man,
Little Candy Rain.
I
in
could
this
take you there, but
I
I was just asking.
No, I'm a Texas country fan. Like that's some of the stuff
I do.
like.
All right, with top 5 country singers of all time.
All time, I don't really
George
have.
Strait, baby, George
All
Strait.
Come on,
time.
man.
You know, I actually won't go with him for all time. Like I would, but like.
If you okay, all right, we're gonna pause.
He
If
said
you had
50
to
number one
go,
hits.
no, if you had to go to if you had no way to stream anything and you had to go into the record store and they told you got 5 damn CDs that you could pick up and that's it. That's all you're gonna be able to listen to for the remainder of your time. What do you got? It doesn't matter. I don't care if they're country. I don't care if they're rock. I don't whatever. If you have 5 CDs that you can pick up that you have to listen to for the remainder of your life, what 5 CDs are you grabbing?
That is a real pain in the ass.
That's real shit. That's real shit because it's happening. The aliens are coming. Get yourself ready.
Aliens
Stop
are
playing.
coming.
Yes.
Man, well, I'll try to outgun them. I'll probably be dead by then. All right, we'll go Zeppelin. Right, I actually got like my
See?
Zeppelin 4, and like I have it in the closet. Pink Floyd. I've got a
Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. Keep coming.
Dark Side of the Moon. I've got one up there.
Dark Side of the Moon.
I'll probably go. No, I got an original press like up in the closet. Like it's
Okay.
really cool.
So you already got it. So you only got to get 4 more then.
Nerd.
And where are we gonna go?
Red Hot
I
Chili
inherited
Peppers?
from my uncle after he died. So.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
See?
But then, I mean,
You
did
only
they
get
really-
5 though.
Did they
I'm
make a
just
You only
vinyl?
get 5.
I'm just saying, man.
I mean, they did
gonna
press
waste
the
them on
vinyl.
one of
Yeah,
the
they,
phones?
they did originally.
James?
Yeah, I'd go RSAP. Yeah.
Rick James.
Rick James.
James.
Oh, Rick
I
James,
wasn't a Rick
bitch.
James fan, no.
I gotta have some Jodeci when I'm alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my
Yeah,
sister says
smooth
she loves the
music.
honesty, the Pink Floyd. She loves
Man,
the honesty.
who else am I go to? Like record wise.
One more, man. Come on, you got to put it in your Jeep. You got a long ass ride to Colorado to go in the mountains and goddamn chase these bears. What you listening to?
Man, there's actually not as many bears up there. I mean, we didn't even see that many moose when we were up there.
Is it? You said moose. What do you call a herd of moose? Is it mooses?
Mooses.
Mooses?
Moses.
Moose. A
Moose.
gaggle? I don't know. A murder?
Some
Okay,
big
no,
ass
that's gross.
animals don't get in their way.
Oh man, I don't know. Like that's a really hard one because like
A
there's
gaggle.
just
Gaggle
so much-
fucks what we do in the military.
There's
Yeah.
so much gaggle.
Well,
I'd probably go Sinatra. Actually, I would go Old Blue Eyes.
Okay.
That's a pretty good one.
he said what?
That's five.
Sinatra.
Who?
I used
Frankie Sinatra.
Oh, Frank Sinatra. Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
Yeah, I used to listen to that with my grandmother. She would put on a record. That was a lot of fun.
Ooh.
Does he sing "I Did It My
Yeah.
Way"?
Wait,
Does Frank Sinatra sing "We Did It My Way"?
CCR? Yeah, Cross Canadian Ragweed. There, Joshua Morris. No, boy from Oklahoma. No. Oh, you're Creedence Clearwater.
Yeah, Creedence. That's Creedence. He's a Georgia boy. That's Creedence.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
I would some Biggie. That would be cool. I can do that. Like.
There you go.
I thought old Frank. I did. I used to. My grandmother, God rest her soul. Like we would sit there. She came down. If our parents got divorced, and like she would put on all that.
yeah.
40 stuff.
No, yo, Frank is the man, bro. I mean, especially when you get old, you can't make love to like Jodeci and shit. Bro. A little too fast paced, but you put some Frank Sinatra on, and it's not as bad on your hips and your joints and shit, bro. You can slow play. You know what I'm saying?
Fly me to the moon.
Yeah.
Nice and just fly me.
The whole Rat Pack. Yeah,
right,
man.
right.
Yeah, I did it my way. Is the only thing I know. That's all I got. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to buy you some. We're gonna have to send you some music, Scott.
I'll build this
No,
playlist.
she said-
I'm actually quite amazed that you said that's the only one you know.
What I'm just saying. She say,
Yeah, I wasn't paying
"Why did
attention.
you only last 2 minutes?"
What do we do with the drunken sailor?
Way.
Yeah. What would you do? Would you do some drinking
man.
songs? What would you do with the drunken? Look at that down there at the bottom.
I
What
think
we
I
do?
have.
What do we
to.
do with the drunken sailor?
Call
I
me
don't know, I've
offline.
never
I'll
seen
tell
a
you,
drunken sailor.
I don't want you to attrite and not go to boot camp if I tell you these stories about drunken sailors and what I did to them. You don't want to know.
Oh, here's a good one. So on ride to Colorado. Well, it depends. So if we have a convoy, like we'll have the GMRS radios, little walkie-talkies, I guess you could call them, and we'll sit there and shoot the hours.
They go smoking the bandit on them roads.
Right.
Yeah, in a Jeep, I ain't going over 70, dude. Like,
I mean,
smoking
daydreaming.
the bandit. Yeah. I think
Well,
like driving a brick.
now it's time to say goodbye to all my military friends. Same old flag. Yes, it's the same one. Same old oath. Oh, I oath you guys it's time to get the hell up out of here. See you on the next POD. Hey, Cal, my man, I appreciate you for coming out. Hey,
Yeah.
my man, Big Ty, my man, Matt J, and Al Hero, and I am DJ Royalty in the place to be. This is the Triple Threat Vet Podcast Show. Everybody who came out, we want to say thank you to all the live listeners, all the live viewers, and all you who are going to watch it tomorrow, the next day, and the next day, and comment about the shit that you didn't see because you were too lazy to go live. We love you too. And we out of here. Kyle, thank you for everything. Appreciate you looking out for our military vets, man, and all the first responders, and just, you know what I'm saying, being a stand-up guy and doing what you feel in your heart to do to take care of people, man. We love you for that. God's going to bless you for that. And until we see you guys next time, we out of here. Is anything else you got left to say, Ty?
No, I'm good, bro.
How about you, Matt?
Nope.
Our hero.
Peace, love, and hey, I'm
Any
out.
last words from my man, Kyle?
Hey, sign up, get out there.
All
I'm out.
right.
Go have a good
Y'all
time.
be loved, be blessed, take care of somebody. No stress. And
I'm gonna go buy a CD today.
Go buy a record.